What is crap, everybody? We made it to a Sunday. That's right. We are here. Another episode, and I got Doug with us. Hi, Doug. How are you?
Hi,
Yes.
everybody.
Yes. Dude, I've been a big fan of yours for a long time. I used to watch Forge and Fire all the time.
I'm glad. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. I love doing the show. It's an amazing show.
It's exciting. Yes. I don't know what it is about it's old school crafting, like blacksmithing or like any of that stuff. I've always been really fascinated by that. I used to go all the time to Greenfield Village down here, and you could watch people. You could actually
Yeah.
apprentice still over at the blacksmith shops and the old school printers and the weavers and the pottery places.
Uh-huh.
I think that's fascinating to me. Yeah.
I think there's something to be said with being literate with your hands, to be able to make things with your hands again.
Yeah.
Technology takes it away. It makes things impersonal so that when you create something that you did on your own, that means something. You're putting a soul into it. So that's one of the things I
Yes.
love about the craft.
Oh, it's exciting, man. You can get really, really inventive with some of those things. I always thought that was really fun. Listen. I used to watch those late night knife shows back in the day, in the
Uh-huh.
'90s. I don't know. It was just fun. I don't know. Something about it was very cool. But
Well,
actually
it's
have a
part of our
knife.
lives, you know. People
Yeah.
think, we use knives every day. What
Yeah.
do you open boxes with? Don't use your teeth. How do you spread your food? How do you cut your meat? How do you cut rope and everything? We all use it.
Yeah.
And knives are also very symbolic. Some cultures, it's in their flag. Some cultures, it's a status symbol to carry a particular blade. You know, in our military,
Mhm.
you have your honor guards using swords or officer swords. In myths and lore, you have Excalibur. You know, the romances of the novels out there. You have
Yes.
Sword of Perseus or Sword of Mars. So, bladed weapons have always been tied to us. For as long as man can't grow their own claws and everything else, we've always had blades around.
Yes. Oh, exciting. My grandfather works at Ford's way back in the day. I was like must have been like towards the 50s. And he used to
Mhm.
take some of the scrap auto parts. I actually have knives and tools that he made from the old car parts
That's cool. That's
back in the
cool.
day.
Well, lead
Oh yeah,
springs
it's awesome.
are very popular in making knives. So lead
Yeah.
springs from the cars are definitely one of the top choices.
Yeah. Oh, those are fun. We had a bunch of people pop in this chat. Let's go do
All
this,
right.
and then we could go come back and do some intros. I know we got
All right.
A1 in the house. What is up,
All
A1?
right.
Got GTK Comics. What's up, guys? We got Tommy's in the house. You were just on his show not too long ago. We love
Oh,
Tommy.
cool.
It's good, cool people. We got Cran is in the house. What's up, Cran?
Hello,
Yes.
everybody.
Everybody's saying hey to you. We got Apex in the house. What's up? Got
All right.
Choco in the house. What's going on, guys? Yes, welcome on in, dudes. I know we're gonna get way more people in here, but yeah, blades are cool. Yes. Got some
Absolutely.
lasers. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. They also go really well with martial arts too. Like you can do some beautiful fight
Oh
scenes
yeah,
with some martial
that
arts.
that's where I
Yes.
came into using the blades was because of martial arts. I studied Filipino martial arts, which starts off with weapons
Okay.
first, but there's a whole story to that as to how I got involved with that. So when we're ready to rock and roll, we'll see how it all connects to
Perfect.
everything that we're doing.
I like it. Here, let me do this. I'm gonna make you big for a second, and then we're gonna do the introductions. I'm sure people know you. I'm sure people recognize you. But if they don't know, who are you? What do you do? Why are you here? The hard
All right.
questions.
Well, I'm Doug Marcaida. You may know me as a judge on Forge and Fire. I am an edge weapon specialist. I'm a military veteran. I also am a knife designer for a lot of knives that known throughout there, K-bar, and of course Fox knives and all the different things. It is what I do. And now I'm a comic series writer. So that's what we're here to talk
Ooh.
about today, to explain my transition from television to social media and now comic books to continue to tell my story.
Yes, that's exciting because you've been in TV for so long, you think that you would just go right into the TV series or something like action wise, but it's so interesting. Like, what did you pick the comic format? Were you a fan of comics before you started this?
Actually, I wasn't. I grew up in the Philippines. It's a third world country. I couldn't afford comic books then. Only my
Yeah.
friends who had connections with the US, they had comic books. So I would go around, I'd look at their comic books, and I never understood how there's a connection with different issues going forward, right? I couldn't afford it, but I enjoyed the art. It stuck with me. Later on, fast forward, I moved to the US. I got involved with martial arts, at least Filipino martial arts. When I was over there, I didn't study it. I did kickboxing and everything, but never the
Oh, that's
weapon.
so interesting.
because I lived a different. Well, I wasn't exactly a happy kid, right? I was a troubled child, and I joined gangs and everything else. And I had a very bad experience where I was accosted with blades. So I really had a fear of blades. And the arts
Wow.
that were presented back home, I always connected to criminals or the criminal element of blades, right? Now, when I went to the US and I was in the military, I got back to our little martial art group of kickboxing and everything else. I met a guy who was just destroying me in the arts. And I go, wow, I want to know what you're doing. What is it? He goes, it's Kali. Ooh, I never heard of it. What's Kali? He goes, it's Filipino. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm Filipino. What are you talking about? And he goes, well, it's also known as Arnis and Eskrima. I'm going, I know Arnis and Eskrima. That's about weapons. He goes, yeah. Well, I want to learn what you're showing me. He goes, like, if you want to learn to be good at this, then you got to learn how to use weapons. I'm like, why? It makes you faster. It changes things. But here's the thing. I'm going to guide you to face your fears. If you face your fear with me, it's going to release you from that. So there was a martial art thing going on. And these guys were my friends. And we slowly progressed to the blade. They just bring out the blade. In Filipino art, you see a lot of stick training. We train with sticks because it's a metaphor for whatever that you see. It allows you to look at it and goes like, do I see a screwdriver? Do I see a sword here? Do I see a curved blade? Yes, I do, eventually. And then you slowly progress. Because if I were to hold the stick this way, what's the difference? You have the karambit there. What's the difference of training this way? And if I had flipped it over this way, I'm still doing the same thing, right? So it's a way of thinking to see beyond normal perception. So with that, I fell in love with the art. I got addicted to blades, and it became part of my life. I started teaching it. I actually got addicted to it. And then when Fortune Fire showed up, they were looking for an end user. They found my videos on YouTube. And then the rest is history.
Wow. That's some exciting stuff. I like this. I like this journey. I also like that you went to battle your fear of the weapons. You know, you had that
Yeah.
stigma against the weapons, and now you're like making them.
Well, you know what? It's so important because it's a life lesson. Martial arts to me, right? I had to study a very violent art. Come on. How more violent
Mhm.
is it when you're using a weapon against something,
Yeah.
right? But I was in the medical field. So I study diseases so that I know how it's being cured. I know how to prevent it from ever infecting people. So it's the same thing
Mhm.
with martial arts. The more I study violence, the more I realize that I have to be aware of my surroundings. I have to have all these, but it's taught with respect for one another. When we come in, we bow to each other. You're training with your friends. You're there to encourage others, to get motivated, to get confidence within yourself. These are all life lessons. Now, the act of violence, that's almost like, well, if worse comes to worse, we failed and we have to do this. It was a negative thing to do the violent act, but we are always taught the before. The before is preventive. Can you run? Can you do it? But it's also the after. Okay, here's the after from your actions of training and doing that. Call your lawyer, call the police, call the doctor, the mortician, by the way, if you're lucky, because the end result of actually fighting in reality, in life, will get you into trouble. So we avoid that and try to live a better life. Martial arts is supposed to make you better in life, not bitter in life. And if you truly study the
Mm.
martial art that gets you there, you start to see that is the lesson. The only beast you need to prepare for to fight is yourself, because you're the one who gets
Oh.
to do the fights, not the people around you. You can't control what they do. I can always run. I can always walk away. 99% of all the fights I've been into, I chose to stay. And that's got me into trouble.
Oh, that is big trouble. Oh, this is a good one too. Life lessons are knife lessons
Yeah, there
from
you go.
Jay
Right?
here.
That's cool. Have a nice day.
Yes. Yes. Listen, I wore this in honor of the knife work. We got, sweet Michael Myers with his knife
Oh,
here.
cool.
Yes.
Nice. Nice.
Yes. Yes. Oh, we also got thank you for your service. Yes. You were talking about the
Oh, well,
military
thank you.
earlier.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.
It was an honor. I joined the military because, as an immigrant to come to this country, I knew that I had to serve it to earn my right to be in this country. So I proudly served, and it served me more than I served it in reality.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. So yeah, if you guys are just joining us, we're getting more people popping in here because we're gonna be talking to you about your comic book for Lineage, which is awesome. It's exciting. Give yourself a round of applause for that because making a comic, let me tell you, is not easy. It's a lot of work.
Oh my gosh,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
I'm very blessed to be able to do that. So Lineage is the name of the comic book. So let's put it this way. I am
Yes.
in the last quarter of my life. In my last quarter of my life, It is basically my new purpose now is to leave everything behind that allowed me to shine. So I'm doing seminars, I'm recording all my lessons, all the things that I've done, I'm leaving that behind. All my knife designs that I've done, everything, we're leaving that behind. Now, what else am I doing? I'm creative. I got my social media and everything else. I go, what about my stories? I have a lot of stories to tell. So this Lineage was supposed to be a TV series, but then COVID hit, and I'm the producer and the guys I was
Yeah.
working with, they left the industry. I'm like, well, before I die, I better get this in print. I was able to pitch this to some friends, and this is a story that's been going on for over 15 years. So I know it's a good story. Period. We told this, retold it, and perfected it, and everything else. Now we're ready to tell the world what it is about before anything happens, and that's why we created this.
Nice. Interesting. So, how did you get into wanting? Like, I know you were said you were going to do a TV series, but how did you go? Like, what else is there? Like, how do I get into comics? Like, what did you do to get into
First,
comics?
well, what I did was I found a friend who knew a connection with Kid Heroes
Okay.
Productions, indie comic
Oh,
books.
yeah.
And when I was
Yes.
introduced to them, I pitched my idea, but it was really more about, hey, I just need somebody to make my story because I knew we had a good story here. So as
Yeah.
soon as I pitched my idea, he goes, okay, I know perfect. Because I go, one thing I know about what I do in social media and my following, because I do motivational talks all the time, I do speaking engagements, is if you speak about something that you know, you're good to go. You don't have to make things up because it's something that you know. So I'm going back to telling a story that's related to my culture, a story that's related to my passion, which is, the designing knives and knife fighting, and related to my way of doing things in Forge and Fire. You see, when I was doing Forge and Fire, we make blades from all over the world, historic, iconic blades. I had to research all these. And one thing that I found that a bladesmith making the blade from nothing into a thing would say, sometimes I like to let the blade tell me what it wants to be. I'm like, ooh. You make a blade, just like in life, you make your child and harden, you sharpen them for the world and you put it out there. Well, the child can come back and say, hey, Dad, how you doing? This is what happened. What if a blade that you design and put out there can come back and tell you what it's done? That's when I realized
Ooh.
every blade has a story to tell. Lineage.
Oh, that's so. I like the design of that. It reminds me of like Dino Claws.
Oh,
Like
yeah. Well, it's a
yes,
karambit. It's one of those, it's
yes,
very primal. So it looks like a claw.
mhm,
That's why people are freaked out
yes,
by it. But it's beautiful. I like curvaceous blades. And this is
yeah.
one of the things that I've been known to be very good at when I train with this. But there's so many other blades out there that we're going to be talking about in Lineage.
Whoa, that's exciting. I like this. I like that the blade has it can tell stories. What based on like
Yeah.
what it's seen and stuff. That's fun. That's an interesting take on there. Let me see. We
So
got more
I'll
people
give you,
popping in here. Yeah,
yeah.
Raptor
So has
Claw. Yeah,
anyone here
exactly.
out there, anyone read the comic book yet?
That's a good question. Has anybody read it? If not, let people know what is it all about. Let me drop the link one more time. I did drop the Kid Heroes link to go to your the Lineage page, but I also have it saved up top to go to the sign up page.
Yeah.
It's been very exciting. Let me drop that one more time. That right there will take you to the campaign page. You can go sign up for that because I'm not sure when you guys are going to be launching, but it's got to be coming up
We're
soon.
supposed to launch tomorrow, Monday.
But tomorrow, okay. So yeah, go
Tomorrow.
sign up for
So
that. Yeah,
that
it's
is,
excited.
well, we've already done issue one. The next one,
Okay.
so issue one was a trial. We wanted to see if people would be
Yes.
hooked on the story once they did it, and we got that. So now we're going to finish it up from 2 to 4. We're going to finish the whole series, right? The whole idea about what Lineage is about, it's a story about two brothers. Two brothers who are estranged. When they were young, they were pretty much training martial arts with a blade by their father, who was part of a cult. It was being forced onto them. Well, it's not something that their uncle wanted them to do, but lo and behold, they started training and everything, and out of nowhere, you see a demon show up and kills the father. That is at least what is remembered by the older brother, Miguel. Miguel wakes up and now he's in the US. He's already grown, but he always has that recurrent nightmare. Now, his younger brother, Virgil, he happens to not remember much about it. All he knows is that Miguel inherited the blade that my dad had. Why do you have it and I don't? But you see, Miguel, the older brother, doesn't want to be reminded of this and what it stands for, that it's always in his nightmares. Now he's just a trinket. He just uses it to open boxes and everything else, doesn't have the soul to it anymore. Virgil wants one, but he wants to find out more about it. But Miguel won't tell him, so they're estranged. So what happens now is Virgil uses TikTok and has his own paranormal show. He's using it, but he's always trying to find the same blade and everything that has to do about this blade. Now, what happens is Miguel eventually starts tuning into his brother's show, and then he catches his brother doing one of his paranormal researches, and he sees in the video an emblem that he was reminded of the cult that his father was in. Freaks him out, goes out there and looks after his brother. Now, his brother's doing all the show because he's looking for the blade. Sometimes he finds something that's close, but never the same. But this time he feels a very eerie feeling. So he's, I'm out of here. So he just goes back home. His brother finds him in his apartment, chases him, what the hell are you doing? You're putting yourself in danger. Don't you know that these are dangerous things? That's the reason why we left the Philippines, why we came over here, to be away from those memories. Do you remember how bad those memories are? And Virgil's like, no, I want to where'd you get that knife? I want the same thing. Well, lo and behold, the demon shows up. And when he shows up, he's there to hurt the brothers. And Miguel is shocked. He can't move. He's like, this is the demon of my dreams. Well, Virgil just wants to fight. What are you doing in my house? Intruder and everything. And what's with the costume? Well, nonetheless, as soon as the demon goes after his brother, he remembers, oh, big brother's here. You don't touch my brother. And then he feels the blade shake. And all of a sudden, it's a weapon. It's no longer the trinket he has. He pulls it and he cuts out instinct. The demon gets cut. He sees that it bleeds. If it bleeds, it can be killed. All of a sudden, he looks at his brother and the memories come back as when they were children. He goes, do you remember when our father taught us how to fight side by side? And Virgil goes, you mean this? And they start doing the ritual. They start moving in the choreographed training that they did. And then before you know it, they kill the demon. But this is what happens. Miguel walks up to it. It's no longer a demon. It's a man wearing a mask. And he opens up and goes, why is he wearing a mask? Virgil looks at it and goes like, hey, cool blade. What's this all about? That's what issue is about. It tells you a story about one thing. Face your fears. Because sometimes the monster that we think our memories are telling about are nothing more than what's made up in our minds. If you face it, it definitely releases you from it, because we can revisit from your lineage in the past everything that is there. They were kids. What did they know when they remembered that? That's why going back to regressive therapy as adults, we're able to see things with adult minds. Also, it's a story about two brothers who are reconnecting. There is something where they reconnect and there's strength in shared memories, right? But they're able to go back into this. And of course, there's always the idea of who done it. So that's a story I'm trying to tell from this, from the issue one. Is the journey begins from here. But here's the catch. All this story that you see here, if you read in here, every time you see it printed in red and black, like the beginning here.
Oh, ooh, yes.
Right? It's the blade that's telling the story, not the brother.
Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that. And it matches the blade coloring on the blade. Yes.
Yes, you see, the blade is the one telling the story. It's got markings. When we had our artist that we picked, who's from the Philippines, Felix Morales, he actually put these designs. At first, I'm like, oh, very cool. Well, that's a very important mark. Yeah. But it looked to me like, oh, what are those, alligator scales? Well, when he put it closer, he goes, no, look at the little dots. You see, they're like stick men holding each other. And I go, oh, yeah. It's family. It's people holding each other, if you think of a stick man. And I'm like, wait. And he goes, that's a real tattoo from the Philippines. You didn't know that? No. As a matter of fact, there's a 109-year-old woman who uses these tattoos, doing it the old way. And she did that to his arm. And he goes, I want to put it in there. Because it's about family. It's about passing it on. It's about a lineage of a blade all together in this. But the blade is telling the story, because every blade has a story to tell. That's the part of what this lineage is all about.
I like this. I dig this. We get more people coming in here. And let's see. Yes, the family that slays together stays together. Yes. People are really liking the story that you have in here. Yes, good story.
I'm glad. Awesome. I mean, tell me, right? I told you this is something that goes on and on. And here's the thing. The first book is called Brotherhood of the Blade. right? It's because
Oh,
we
yeah.
are on issue two. The brothers now find themselves going back to the Philippines to find out about their past. And that's when
Oh,
they start
okay.
learning about the cult. They start learning about what was my father into? What was that mask all about? And then they have to revisit their martial art training because apparently the blade and their martial arts is the key to allow them back into the cult. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh,
But
yes.
as Brotherhood of the Blade continues on in its saga, and when the four issues are done, this blade dies. And that mark right there is the soul. And the soul of the blade will transfer to another blade in another time, in another era, to wake up and continue its life story. Lineage.
That's awesome. I listen. I'm a fan. My number one. I've always really been into. But listen, martial arts movies forever. Those are my top movies of all time. My brother and I used to watch those all the time. But I am super big into martial arts comics. I don't
Mhm.
know if you know a bunch of them, but I have literally been reading these since the mid '90s, and I'm super big into them, and I think they're fantastic. And I love seeing more people come out with a martial art book and getting people excited for it. I'm
Yeah.
huge fan of
One of
this
the
stuff.
things that I wanted to make sure
Yes.
about this is that the action scenes that you see here, the fighting scenes, you see, Felix Morales is a man of the culture. He
Yes.
understands. He is such a great artist when he drew this, right? But a lot of the things that he drew into here, like he captured, the rituals that we're doing, right? And the training that the boys were doing with their father. Then you see the actual fighting and training that you do. And if you really look at
Uh-huh.
it, there are a lot of little tiny like Easter eggs in this that he understood, but he's not a martial artist. So what I did was I trained with my brother and we videotaped everything of the motions that I did and the actions because it's stop action. And then I sent it to him. He watched it over and over till he got a feel for it. Then he put the movements. I didn't want to see a Superman punch or a
Yeah.
Hulk smash.
No.
I wanted to see true Filipino martial arts with a blade in the comic book. And he captured it. He captured it nicely to where if you're a practitioner, you will recognize the way they move. You will recognize the slashes and the movements on its own. There are limitations to comic books, but I myself know just from the motions here. I mean, I'll see that, let's say I do a scissoring cut here, right? But it'll be just like this is all you're going to see, but you see the swoosh coming from there, go scissoring cut. So a lot of these motions
Ooh.
are definitely, but it's the life lessons too. The life lessons are
Uh,
what martial arts to me is all about life, right? People think of the motion and everything. No, that's a beginner's way of looking at it. Once you've gotten old and wisdom, you start to realize that it's all metaphors. So you basically when you see an attack, I don't meet fire with fire because that's impact on impact. Instead, you go with the flow. You redirect things. So there are different ways that we're going to be doing that, and I always put myself into my comic books because that's what I do, right? A lot of my soul. So when I look at bladesmithing for all over, right? In the Philippines, we're very superstitious. And many Southeast Asian countries, they actually have spirits that live in their blades. They're actually blades that have powers. And then in this modern world, I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? Today? Because I see my teachers who are very good at scary with the blade, but they all have amulets, they have incantations written around. They have these potions they put around. I'm like, well, what? The blade's not going to cut you and everything else. And they're like, keep being a smart aleck and you'll see. Because I've seen things that I just can't explain. But I'm like, I'm the Western guy. I'll just stick with the physical aspect of it, right? But I've seen things. So I'll leave it at that.
we had a question from here earlier from Sheldon. He wanted to know, is Lineage in the comic shops? Because you had issue 1 released first, and then this is for issue 2 through 4 plus the trade paperback which this is one here.
Yeah.
So I
Um,
know it's at the Kid Heroes website.
yeah, Kid Hero website has it. I believe someplace in California might have had it in the signing over there.
Mm,
But we're trying to get it out there right now through the
okay.
internet and all this. But eventually it will. I am working on a deal with TikTok Shop right now to release it. You see, because it's
Okay.
not just about the comic book. Here's the thing. I'm a knife
Uh,
designer, right? I
yes.
designed it. This is a functional blade, by the way. It's real,
Yes.
right? That's
Mhm.
what I do. Now, when you look at the blade in its inception, this is the tactical version of that blade, right? But you can't have that out there because it's going to hurt. So I have a training version and I teach seminars on how to use the blade. So when I created it to tell a story, issue 2 to 4, I'm having cameo appearances by my other blades that I designed this year that are just coming out. This is the Battle Bolt. Yeah, he's gonna be in there. You see the spines in there? Yeah, one of the cult members is gonna be using this. So it's connected to a story.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
wait a minute.
cool.
What else did I design? Oh, yeah. By the way, I'm releasing this year my Tomahawk. Yeah, it's being tested right now with some of the special
Ooh.
forces, right? But this guy is also making a cameo. These guys came to me and was like, yo, what about us? Don't we matter? Can't we be in the comic book too? Why only just the Karambit? Well, it's kind of cool because I like the way, and yeah, I talked to my blades. They mean something to me, but they are making cameos. But we will have trainer versions. So this is actually a trainer version. Because what I believe is if you are in here, if I gave you the very characters that are in the comic book, it's meaningful to you now. You have this and you have this. So there's a meaning to it. Now, from the knife world, I just want to buy your cool thing. Guess what? It comes with a story. It comes with a story. This one has a story. Yeah, it was in there. It's meaningful. This is why the Kickstarter that I'm doing is very important. Understand this. I don't ask anything from people unless you get something back. I'm not that kind of person. I give something for something. Crowdfunding. When I did this, everyone who did it got extras. They got some of these. They got the metal cards that we have, metal training cards. You'll have
Ooh,
the different
yes.
versions of this, different covers. We had a foil. We had an all metal cover. We had all that. But the most important thing, every backer that was part of it will forever
Uh,
be in the comic book. This is
nice.
why it's important. This is so important,
Mm,
guys. Listen to this.
yes.
I designed this for my great, great, great grandkids that I will never meet, ever.
Aw.
They're gonna come one day. Go. Do you know that guy, Doug Marcaida? That because he's the guy who wrote that awesome, awesome series that's bigger than Star Wars called Lineage, right? So he's the one. But I want also somebody who goes. Do you know that Lineage thing? Well, my great great grandfather, number here, number 5, John Smith. That's my great great grandfather. So
Aw.
as a
Nice.
backer, I am giving you the opportunity to have something to pass on to your kids, to their grandkids, to your great great grandkids. You are now part of a lineage. But if you have also the characters that you own because you backed it up, you can now pass this on to your kids and their great great grandkids that made cameos. Now, all of a sudden, this is not just a comic book, it's a part of us that we pass on. Hence the word lineage. Be part of this.
Ooh. Well, that's awesome. I really like that. And yeah, let's see. Austin saying, love the study. That's a very clear passion. Yes. Listen, you could tell you are very passionate about this, and
Oh,
I love to see this.
there's so much of me in here that I wanted. We all recognize passion. That's
Yes.
why. That's why it's so easy because I go, well, what am I passionate about? That's what I'm leaving behind. A lot of times in my martial arts seminars and when I'm teaching, even my comic books, it's there because I will not live forever. And I want somebody to pick up and continue where I left off. It is for us to pretty much,
Oh.
it's not mine. It's not mine. It's ours. I'm hoping for the fact that eventually when we have a following, that people will be invited to write for it. Let me tell you this. If the soul of this blade is transferred in a different era and wakes up one day in its consciousness to be a katana. Oh, I'm in Japan. I'm being used by a samurai. What's the story? Now, who knows what book that soul will be in when it's found to be in Japan? I may not be here. Maybe one of you guys who understands the culture of that can take over and tell its story. It's not mine, it's
Oh.
ours.
Oh, I like this. I like that. It's you have what 4 issues that are going to be in this trade right now, but you have possibility of doing all kinds of stuff down the road, especially because the way
Some of
that
them
the
are
knife
already written.
transcends.
And it's not
Yes.
just, sometimes, who knows, they may, and I don't want to give away, but they could, the Vikings. So Fortune Fire taught us to do so many. We had over like 350 episodes. We had the Vikings, the Crusader
Yeah.
sword. We had so many kinds, right? The Cinquera with Italy, all this. And each one of them has a different culture and a story to tell. So I can't
Mhm.
tell everything myself. And
Yeah. Oh,
it
that's awesome.
doesn't remain in this world. There are other dimensions.
Ah,
Hmm.
yes. Uh, let's see. Oh, Apex was saying, did you say that TikTok shop? Is that what you were saying
Yes.
earlier? Okay. Yeah.
TikTok, because
Yeah.
one of my backers that is part of this, that is going to be creating a whole thing of, okay, I love it when you can have a pendant of the blade.
Oh, cool.
It's red when it sees blood. It's dormant when it's black. So that's a
Oh,
pendant or a
nice.
keychain. And then it will come with a batch of also a trainer, and then this, and then the comic books. It's a bundle. And we're going to put it
Oh,
out on
cool.
TikTok Shop so you can buy the whole thing. It will have its own special cover just for TikTok. So that's part of it.
Nice. I like this. And Apex
But
has
it
done.
won't,
I'm
won't
pretty
happen
sure
if you
it
don't
puts a
back me up
lot
to
of
make it
first.
happen, right? So join us.
Yes, go on because you said it's launching tomorrow. So go hit the pre-launch sign-up page so you guys can get notified. You guys can get back on this. This sounds
You
awesome.
will get
I
something
love
for
this.
something. I promise you. I promise you.
Yes. Ooh, it sounds cool. Yes, this is a good question because you said you're going to put them in the TikTok shop. Is this something that you're going to do on the campaign page as well? Are you adding something like that on there?
Yes, some of this stuff will. No, yeah. So that bundle is going to be available.
Uh-huh.
I think we're not going to be able to release that because the weapons have, weapons. The characters, the
Yeah.
star of the shows here. I'm not going to be done till May. So right now for the Kickstarter, we're doing and taking names as we're developing these to be put in there. So you get the first right
Cool.
and the first batches from our Kickstarter. There are levels
Nice.
of giveaways that we have for that.
Nice. Yes, cool tomahawk. And yes, you got to get to bed, but you're following this one. Nice. That's right. Yes, Chop. Listen, the comics sometimes, listen, they get beat up. That's what you did. Listen, we put our comics in our back pockets. We beat them up as we were reading them. That's how you know that they were truly loved in here. Yes.
Yep, but
Yes.
some of those, the collectors, like you would put them away, and then that's what you would give away when you're passing it on to those that you love, and then you have the ones that you truly are just a big fan of. I'll be signing this. I'll be dedicating it to you guys.
Yes. And some person came in a little bit late because I remember now. Doug's the guy that tests the blades at the show Forge. But yes, it's that guy. That guy.
That's me.
Yes,
That's me.
that's him. Let's see. What if we're already embarrassed our great grandkids? Can we not put our name in the book? You could probably.
Well, here's the great part, right? They don't know you, and you're not around anyway, so who cares?
That's right. That's right. Let them be embarrassed later on. That's how you know your stories came full circle.
That's why I said great grandkids, not immediate grandkids, because there's still a connection, right?
Yes. Ooh. That's a good question. Can the knife soul time travel when it transfers? Ooh.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, that's just it.
Ooh.
When I said different times and different eras, it can go back in time, it can go forward in time, or it could be just in a different dimension on its own. So
Yeah.
the soul travels in so many different ways, right? It's found in different ways. So I've studied a lot of different ideas of how the soul is to be because of the superstitions of the blade and the way of the blade, and of course some religions also that I was also studying about. So.
Nice. Let's see. Apex says we want to put that blade. Yes, that the little tiny one that you have to fit perfectly on a keychain. That looks great.
Yeah, but I
Yes,
like
that
wearing it
one.
as a pendant, right? It's cool.
Oh, that looks good. Yeah, that'd be
Because
cool
then you're
too.
proud. I want you to be proud of what it is, a fashion statement.
Yes, yes. So the source, dude, I think it sounds great. And from what I've seen, the art looks really amazing. He did such a
Oh
great
my
job
gosh,
on that.
yeah. I mean, later on,
Yeah.
just to see the splash page, and because so I'm not in the comic book world, right? So
Yes.
when I did this
You are
last year
now.
in San Diego, yeah, now I am. When I was in San Diego Comic Con, so we did a panel. I did a cameo with one of their other comic books. I'm sitting there with this panel, and we're talking about the artwork. I'm talking about my culture,
Yeah.
and beside me was another guy who's an artist, and he was saying, "Oh, I saw your comic book. You got a good artist that you picked. Oh, good, nice, and everything else." And we talked about because he was telling about how he was born in the U.S., went to the Philippines to find out his identity, then came back. Excuse me. I'm on the other hand went to the U.S. and found my identity of what we were doing. But the fact that he told me, "Yeah, it's good artwork," and I'm like, "Yeah," I looked at his stuff. You're pretty good too. I mean, that's pretty good and everything else. That was Will Sportasio.
Oh,
Will
look at you.
Sportasio. I didn't know anything. Later on, when I was telling people, I mentioned, yeah, Will's, because we did a signing together. He's a
Uh,
legend. Will Sportasio was telling me how good my artist is, and I'm like, whoa, we got to. So now I'm like, had I known, I was sitting with a legend right there. I didn't know that. But for him to say that, I mean, and this guy can capture, and I don't know if you can see it, can truly capture, like, you see, there's the memory of the kids and the older guys and how they're finding out
Yeah.
their artwork. I mean, and the movements. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, I have digital copies I'm going to be putting out there, but the detail in the eyes, and not only that,
Ooh,
he was
so
able to put
fierce.
even in the eye is a reflection of the demon that he had when he woke up, and it's like it was a nightmare. Why is there the eye, the demon? So these little tiny Easter eggs that are so meaningful. I keep going back to this because for lineage, to find your lineage, you have to go back in time. I keep going back to the comic book and I'll sit here and I'll watch it over and over again and I'll find new things because I watch it in different emotion states. Sometimes I'm angry, I'll find something, go, yeah, I get him. Sometimes I'm just like, look at that. I just wander. So that's one of the things that I love. Like I can watch over and over and over again and always learn something new.
Yes. People are saying you got to meet Will. That's high praise. And then Apex says, hire him for a cover. Yes. Now
I
that you're
Yes.
buddies, get in. Yes, get in there. Yes.
I definitely right now he's just so busy for this the start of this, but like so we have so many in
Yeah.
the future to work with. So yeah,
Yes.
definitely it's definitely we talked. It's
Exciting.
in the talk.
Oh, I
Can
like
have not
this.
can not work with a legend like that, right?
You're getting respect for folding the comics. Listen, that's how you know you really love your comics. You get in there and you get in there and you fold that stuff and that's what I was saying earlier. Yes, this is you got it. Listen, also you keep folding it and you got to go buy more comics and just it happens. That's what happens.
Yeah, it's just like you're training. I know that people go, okay, so we use the now this one also is one of the things that you can get us a swag. It's got lineage right there.
Ooh.
It's a tattoo on our training. You've got some of the hieroglyphics we have. And rattan sticks are what we use in training because it's fibrous, it absorbs a lot of that, right? Now, if I see now this right here definitely is a keeper. You don't train with this. But when people go, well, yeah, I've had this for 20 years. Like 20 years. All right, I've had it for 5 years. It's still there. They're supposed to break. That means you're training. So you're supposed to retire your sticks, right? So like these guys here are all banged up. It's got tape. Like I've been beaten up so many times. You put tape on the sticks. This is so pretty. But that's the whole thing, right? Just like comic books. You
Yeah.
don't open up to read it. It's just going to collect
That's
dust, and that's why you get
That's
more.
how you
These are
know. That's how
perishable.
you know it's loved. That's how you know
Yeah,
it's loved. And that's how you know you get sold to it because you have all those. Every time you read one, it's got a dent in it, and you're like, "Yeah, I remember when I put that in there."
exactly. You have
Yeah,
one to pass on and one that you read all the time.
you got. Listen, I some of my most beloved comics are so beat up because I remember one time, yes, used to roll them up, but also my brother and I used to hit each other with them.
Oh yeah, I
I
know
still
that.
have those comics to this day.
Yeah,
Some of my
I've
most
got a
beloved
I've got
comics.
a video right now out there that I did for Christmas where my brother and I were going at it with Christmas gift wrap tubes to the song.
Yes,
And it went
the
viral. It's like
best.
it went
Yeah, those
viral.
are the
So look it
best.
up find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube,
Okay.
and you'll see that video. It went viral.
All right. I will definitely link the rest of this. I have your Instagram and I have your website on here, but I'll link the rest of them in the chat. And I see more people popping here. What's up, Nam? Yes, come on in here. Once again, that right there is a link to go sign up. You are going live tomorrow, and all of this just sounds amazing. I like the history in it. I like your lineage that's in it. I love that the blade tells a story, and I like that you represent that in a comic book with the red and black pages. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. I'm
Yes.
glad. I know it's a good story, so that's why I'm telling people be part of this. Jump into it while it's here, while we're
Yeah.
here. Because I told this to Patricio from Kids Heroes. I go, look, do it this way. Give it to them. If they don't like it, send it back. I'll guarantee you. And he goes, no, that's not a business
Ooh.
model. I'm like, well, that's how confident I am. But you got to really defend why you don't like it because it's a great story. That's it. I do that on my seminars. I usually say, look, because people, what if I don't learn it? Or what if I good? Come on to my seminar. If you think you can do better, then the seminar's free for you. But if you learn something and you show and you like it, then you gotta pay, right? But he wouldn't allow that.
Ah.
So because I
Oh,
got a
that's
foot, I
funny.
can't do that. All right, but I am
Oh,
confident. I do like it. I mean, from the folks here, what do you think of the storyline already? Right? Here's the
yes.
thing. We're talking about the mask. I'll give you a little insight into where the brothers are going now that they found out that everything in their past has something to do with where they're going, right? With the blade is just telling them. Remember, the blade is just a witness. So now you see that the brothers are going to the Philippines to find out about the cult. Now, guess what? They're like pictures of the skull, the mask. What's that all about? When they confront their uncle who taught them all this, who pulled them away, the uncle's like, "Why are you? I got rid of you. I sent you to the U.S. Why are you coming back here? Why are you here?" They goes, "Well, this thing came after us." And the uncle, "Oh, well, then you better start training again because you'll need that." But this is what happened when I went to San Diego Comic Con. I saw cosplay. I saw the passion of those that make their costumes. I saw people wearing it in 80-degree weather, all leather, and oh, the heat, but they didn't care. And when you talk to them, how proud they are. Because I also am studying the cult of cosplay. Why is this guy who's so big and powerful wearing a mask? What's the reason that he wears a mask? Who do you become when you wear a mask? Now, all of us are wearing a mask. I'm wearing a mask. You do not see the inside of me. You don't see my thoughts. But it's even stronger when I put a mask on. What does that do to people? It's going to be covered in here because the cult of cosplay is covered. When I saw that, I'm like, how connected am I to this? I want to talk about what wearing costumes or what does it do when you put on a facade and why people are cultish about it. That's covered right there.
Oh, I like this.
People who
I'm
go
a
to
big
San Diego
fan.
do this. I want to go.
Yes.
I understand where he's coming from. Oh, I understand. I told you, this is something that in metaphorically, all of us are really part of this, right? Facing your fears. Misery loves company. There is strength and conditioning when you're with other people together, right? And then why do we wear a mask? Who do we become? Who are we trying to become? Do we have split percent? Like they would say, I wear so many masks, right? I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm all these things.
Yes. There's something really interesting when you go to like a con and you put even just a onesie or something on. You're like incognito. No one knows who you are. You can get away with shenanigans, and I think that's why people kind of resonate and like that kind of stuff because no one knows who's behind the mask. You can get away with
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
You can
Yes,
get away with a lot of that, right? But I
yes,
also want you to be able to walk around with one of these that light up, that all these things that I am proud of this
yes,
to wear it, right? Now all of a sudden,
yes,
my dream is somebody goes, oh, that's from Lineage. Oh, that's Miguel right there. Oh, that's
yes.
the snakehead guy. Oh, that's the Croco Man from the
That's
cult.
how you know you've succeeded is when you have people coming to you after they've read your book in cosplay. That's how you
Yes,
know. That's how you know it's out there. Let's see. We have a couple people coming here. It says, let's see. Nam came in late. Doug, fellow Asian, fellow artist. You were the writer of this book. Yes.
yes, I
Also
am.
fellow Asian. Yes. Very exciting. That's going to be interesting too because you were on TV making things and now you're into writing, which is interesting. Have you
It's
always
another
been
form of
wanting to write something?
communication. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we have video to be able to tell our stories. I mean, let's go back to the early ages. We have oral history. Before television and everything else, people would sit around the fire and they talk about stories. Nothing beats the imagination. But that's when you're live with someone. I can tell you the story. Some of us don't live forever. So what's the first comic book? Writing on the wall, on the caves and everything. There's your first comic book. So
Yes.
going back to that in modern day, a comic book is our history. It is telling of a story. There are just different ways of telling a story.
Yeah. And it's really interesting too. Like I see a lot of people, especially like let's say late 40s and on, that are coming out to do something with heritage and lineage and family kind of stuff, so that it lives back on in their in the rest of their family. And I think that's really cool to see that. And I just love it when people just start coming and doing things with comics because it's just an interesting form of art to get out there, and I love seeing that.
It
Let's see.
is. It is.
Yes, let's see. Some person says he's been dropping this campaign's link all over the places for weeks. Thank you, Cran.
Thank
Some
you.
person, I see Cran down below you, but yes, some person. Thank you. Let's see. Cran is also saying, sounds interesting, sounds cool, the kind of stuff you're interested in. Yes, very much so.
I enjoy this. One of the things Katie, that I want to do is I want to come back
Yes.
here after you read the story. I want
I
to
will
come back
definitely
here
do
and
that.
do a comic book reading because then I want you to. I'll go. Okay, page one. Let's go and see what we'll
Perfect.
see right here. Okay, so you just read it, but then let me tell you things that you won't know unless you're part of my culture. Like
Yes.
so you see the blade there, and it's talking about what it's experienced. The blade says, If only you could see through the edge of my existence. In the hands of a child, I danced through terror, yet felt the weight of the shadows where hearts stood still. Then it goes on to say, in the quiet moments, I long to be heard, sharp as a blade, but a keeper of tales untold. In the hands of the
Ooh.
brave, truth in the shadows dwell. Comes a tale where every blade has a story to tell. That's the blade being poetic. That's the blade telling its history. But the blade right here is dying.
Ooh.
It is dying in the
No.
beginning, but it's telling its story. In here is the urn of ashes. In here are Miguel and his brother as ancestors. In here is the blade itself with the three souls that they were talking about, and the lineage is there. And it goes back to the story. So it's like telling its story, like when it's already done, and then we go back to the beginning. I mean, if you
Ooh.
read this by yourself, you're gonna go, "Oh, cool." Until I sit down with you and go, let's go page by page, because there are tons of things here. And
Oh,
that
we could totally do that. I'll let you know right now. I'll invite you on for May because Nam is in the chat here, and for the past like 5 years, we do AAPI celebrations. We have people come on, the artists, writers, and anybody. We just talk about their books and anything to do with culture and stuff. So,
Let's do that. I mean, I'm
perfect.
new to this. I got with Jeff Haas, who's our
Mhm.
publicist. And I go, how do I get my stories known? Because I was just in Athens Con right after
Yeah,
this in December, right?
yeah.
When I went over there, people
Ooh,
would come up,
nice.
hey, you're the guy from Fortune Fire. And they look at my comic books, oh, great artwork. I go, artwork? There's a story to this. Oh, there's a story. Then I went with them and I told them the story. I knew once they found the story, they'd love it. And as soon as I was done, because it was in English, I had a translator, and
Yeah.
they're like, I love the story. Where can we get more? So I knew, right? But unless I
Yes.
took the time to tell you and tell you what to see, what to look for, right? At first, I want you to see it for yourself. Then we'll come back and I'll tell you more because there's so much more that you can see in here. And then I'll tell you how to look for
Right.
things more, how to look for more things. We're going to have fun with
Oh,
just
ooh,
this.
yes.
And then you actually have the characters that were in it. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Yes. See, I also love that you're calling the weapons, the blades and everything characters themselves because they have their own entities, you know? I love that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And you'll have your own.
Yes.
You see, this
Listen.
is the
Yes.
story. This is the blade telling the story when it was held by the two brothers. If you have one of these, I wonder what kind of story that blade is going to tell other people. Do you see where I'm coming from? Some people
Yes.
will go,
Oh,
look,
no.
by the brothers, I was used to be part of a cult. I was used to fight. I was used to this. Then he hands it on to another person. Well, I was designed for that. With this, I was given to some kid who kept drooling on me. As a matter of fact, he used this to pick his nose. It's gross. And then he opened all the boxes and he'd leave me outside in the cold, in the freezing rain. My gosh. You
Oh,
see,
it's
the
terrible.
blade is
Don't do that
neither
to your
evil.
knives.
That's it, right? A blade is neither evil or good. It just is.
Yeah.
It's the person who's wielding it that makes it bad or good. We
Very
don't seem
true.
to take
Very
that into
true.
consideration. Doesn't matter what's in
Yes.
my hands, it's what I do with it. So I am
Yes.
the one in control. In Filipino martial arts, when you first start learning, you learn, oh, this is a straight blade, curved blade, all these blades. But in the end, as you start to understand, everything goes, no, there's only one weapon. I am the weapon. Everything else is a tool. I don't need to pick up anything. I can turn this into a weapon if I wanted
You
to.
can.
But
There
I
are
am the
metal
weapon.
covers, you know.
Yeah. Rolled up newspapers. One of our favorite things to
Yes.
play with.
I'm going to show off the campaign page for a minute because you are going live tomorrow. I'm going to show this off because I want to show off some more of this
Yes.
artwork that you have on here because I think it's fantastic. I think the art is really phenomenal.
Yeah.
He does such a good job. First of all, with likeness, but also the way that he tells a story with the action. The action's fantastic. I think the way that he did this is just amazing. Like he really figured out how to get these details where the details need to be, but to let like the action and like the background stuff really shine. Great job.
Hmm.
Very exciting stuff. Yes. Let's see. Oh, you have early bird specials too. So this is going to be launching tomorrow. I don't know how long the early bird special is going. Usually up like 24, 48 hours,
Yeah.
usually when that
Correct.
happens.
Correct. We got
Something
metal
there. But
cards
you can
and
get, yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of other swag. I'm not sure, but that I think it's all in there.
Yeah. Very nice. Look, this there you are holding some blades. Look at this. This is
That's
great.
one of my designs.
Um,
Uh-huh.
Yes, and here's more of the covers too, because you had other covers for issue one, but this is also. Oh, whoops, hold on. Oops, that is also the website there. Let me see if I can just open. Where'd it go? There we
Yeah,
go.
I found out that
Lineage.
in the comic book world, people like to be collectors. So we have some that are virgin versions of it without any of the print. We had
Yes,
foil covers of it in red foil. We had some that were
homage
in a
covers as
metal
well.
cover.
Yeah,
And some of those
I
are
see the
specific.
homage covers. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes, I know you had a blank too because I saw that in the back of the book that you were holding up. You had some blanks on there, and I know there's a lot of artists that are in chat right now that love. I love picking those up because eventually I'm gonna get off, my butt, and I'm gonna start getting back into arts and wield my weapon. The pencil.
Nice.
Got to do
Uh-huh.
that. Yes. Well, I think this is great. I think the art looks fantastic. The story to me is what really gets me in this because I'm a huge fan. Listen, when I tell you huge fan of martial arts, I'm not even kidding. All I'm reading right now, okay, I read a lot of stuff from Korea, from China, Taiwan, wherever where it has the martial arts. So I'm super into, how like you have the different sex, like demon sex cultivation leader. That's where I'm reading right now. Is
Cool.
huge into all that stuff. I'm big fan. Yes. I love it. I love all that stuff. That's good times. No, this sounds super up my alley, and I'm here for it. But I love all the different versions of this. I love that you have. So this is all issue one here, but you're also doing single issues for 2 through 4 plus the trade paperback. Is that how this is working on this campaign?
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
exactly. So that people
nice.
who can start from scratch or just jump to the next one
Yes.
or get the whole thing.
I like that because there's a lot of people who are super fans of just the floppies, but there's also people like myself who have run out of room and just like the trades. I
Uh-huh.
like to put them on the shelf so you can easily read them all the time. But I think it's cool. It sounds awesome. And you did say you wanted to do this as a TV series back in the day. Hopefully you get these out, get
Yeah,
that
well,
going
that's
because
the
I think
first
that would
step
be an
right now.
awesome
I
show.
know my
Yeah.
I know there are already some looks on this from some productions, but I just
Nice.
want to tell my story first in comic book to make sure. The other stuff, because I know some things can be changed later on, I want to stay in its purest form right now, which is comic books. And then later on, if
Perfect.
it ever translated to that, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now,
Nice.
I want it out there in its purest form.
Oh, this is fantastic. I really like this. So you have four. This will be 4 issues coming tomorrow because you already have the one issue out right now. It's a trade. Nice, and I like that you have possibilities of doing things, down the road with other versions of these blades.
Oh,
I like that a
absolutely.
lot. Yes.
Yeah. That we've in the first issue was definitely all about this. The second
Yeah.
issue, we're gonna introduce these guys. These guys are making their shall we say their debut, right, as characters on the series, and you'll see more of them on issue 3. Definitely more to come out and start doing what they gotta do. So
Nice.
it's an
Let's
introduction with
see.
them in there.
Yes. Let's see. Omen just came in here. He's like, Doug, good to see you, sir.
How you doing?
Yes,
Awesome.
it's interesting too because you're also on the comic hustle spree right now. I know you were on Tommy's channel. You got some other channels coming up that you're going to be
Yeah.
doing interviews and stuff on. That's going to be exciting too because now that you've met Wills and you're learning more about comics and stuff. I think that's awesome. I am very excited to see this. Wait, let's go. Yeah.
I'm really hoping to bring everyone into my world as much as and jump into your world in the comic world. So it's an
Yeah.
exciting thing that's happening.
Oh, Nam says, tell him I know how to use some of those weapons. Oh,
That's
nice.
very good. If you don't train with it, then you don't know how to use it. You won't understand it. Now, people think, "Oh my gosh, they're killing each other." No, it's just a dance. It's a motion, and the more more people who train it, the ones who are really safe with it, because they use it all the time. They're safe with it. It's when they don't train with it that they get cut the first time they move around with it. They don't understand the distancing or the use of the proper use and the respect of these things. So yeah, that like anything, it comes to with anything else that you get, with firearms, you have to train. But for me, my passion is in training it. I am one with the world when I'm moving around in flow, and I have yet to hurt anybody with it, so I'm happy. It's one of the ways, people don't understand that. They go, oh, they're scared. No, don't be afraid of the motion. It's no
That's
different.
right.
How about this? Cars can do more damage than any of these things on the table. So
Very
think
true.
about
Gotta
that,
be
right?
careful. Let's see. Omen is saying, yes, you tend to follow you on Facebook. Seeing you have a comic is all the more reason to be a fan. Yes. This comic sounds amazing. I know you just got here a little bit later, but dude, check it out. It's launching tomorrow on Kickstarter. Eventually, you'll have TikTok bundles as well to get your stuff. But yes, check it out. It's awesome. It sounds amazing. I'm very excited for this. I want to see where this gets going because it sounds awesome. I love your passion behind it. You just seem like you were meant for this. You were meant for storytelling.
I
Yes.
think I do love what I do. I'm blessed to be able to do that. And I want, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Brotherhood of the Blade. I've always been one to have a brotherhood around me. When I was young, I was with my brothers, my siblings. Then I got into gangs, but then I pulled away from that. Then I had my athlete groups, my soccer, basketball groups and everything else. And I was in the military. I had my military brothers. I got out of that. I had my martial art brothers. So now I want to have my comic book brothers. I cannot enjoy something by myself. I need to share it. I need you to be a witness to my life so that you will know that I lived here. And I want to be a witness to your life so you will know you were here too. Let us witness each other's passion.
That's awesome. I dig this so much. This is literally right up my alley. I love all this stuff. I know there's a lot of guys in the chat that are like, yes, let's go. So yeah, I encourage everyone, share this around. It is launching tomorrow. We want to get way more issues out there too. Get some fun stuff in your guys' hands. Let's see. What else do you have? Are you going to be going to any more Comic Cons now that you've done a few of
Yes,
them?
right. So this year, excuse me, I'm planning on San Diego Comic Con, and I'm going
Okay.
to be doing also New York Comic Con.
Ooh,
And
okay.
I was gonna go to WonderCon in LA, but I ended up doing a martial arts seminar teaching these on, and this stuff. So I'll be missing out on that. But after that, we'll see where it goes. I'm always open to finding out more about the different cons that are out there.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of them all over the place. I think you would
Yeah,
really have fun at some of those. I know New York, there's a lot of guys that go to New York and have fun. Baltimore, there's stuff in Florida, there's stuff on East Coast, they're all over the place.
yeah.
There's even really big ones. My friend Bernard, he goes to Taiwan, he goes to Abu Dhabi, and they do the Japan circuit over in that area. There's a lot
Wow.
of interesting
Yeah,
cons that are happening up, especially over in the Comic Cons they're opening up over in the Asian countries as well. So
yeah.
it's
Hong
really
Kong, I
interesting to
believe, is
see.
opening one up. I don't know.
Hong
Like I
Kong,
said,
yeah, big
I
time.
am
Yeah.
hoping that this gets a following so that I can go to these cons and share the
Yes. I
passion.
hope so too. I hope so too because there's a lot of really good. It's really interesting too how because like different parts of the world they have different formats that people are interesting, but it's really cool to see people get into the comic side of things. Especially
Hmm.
with like the webtoons, their version of their own manga and comics and things. It's interesting to see how people are like taking like if they take your stuff, they do it in like a European release, different formatting. I think that
Yes,
stuff is
yeah.
amazing, and I love seeing all of that. And I love this. It's cool. Let's
Well, I'm
see.
yet to get there to experience that, so I'm
No.
looking forward to that.
Yes. Let's see. Definitely like your stick fighting videos, but can't neglect the other. Listen, they're going to be shining in this comic series. You can also buy some of them, by the way. Get in here. Yeah, I think it's a cool concept. I like it. I think it's pretty interesting. But yeah, I know there's a couple of the indie creators that I know that have specific martial arts comics, and then
Hmm.
they go to the places in the regions where where the martial arts is, and they do their cons and stuff over there. And that way, they bring it over that way, which I think is really interesting. Um,
Well, I think that
yeah,
eventually, when this comes out and the specific countries that I'm going to be telling the story for their particular books are, I'm going to be visiting those countries because I need to research
nice.
and get the stories
Yes.
from there.
It sounds like
So,
you do a lot of research, and I love seeing that because I listen. You have to have a really good world building, your characterizations and stuff like that. And it sounds like you're getting into that. I like that you're getting in and doing this research. Now
I
you're
was
doing
already
comic
exposed to
research.
that from doing what I do. I've taught martial arts in
Yeah.
so many countries all over the world that the one thing I love, they go, let's go to the museums. And no, I want to sit down and have a good drink and good food of the people. That's what I enjoy doing. Then from there, when we sit down, what do?
Yes.
We tell stories. We tell stories. And that's where I learn more about everything in the country from those stories.
Oh, this is a good Kyla Comics is coming here. Is will it kill? That's a good question. That's a
Yeah,
good
of course.
question.
Now, Kill. It will kill. That's Keal. That means keep everyone alive. All right. Because a lot of times when I first did it, it was supposed to be a passing a kill. Did it kill or not? So the word, because it's a kill
Yeah.
test. But then by third, and it came out, I said kill because I had an accent. And later on, when I found out by the third season it was a family show, I go, I can't keep glorifying kill. So I changed it to Keal, keep everyone alive. Because it follows my martial art teaching and responsibility. It's
Yes.
not about how many you hurt, it's about how many you can protect.
I don't think people realize that the basis of most martial arts is defense, not offense, and it's about protecting people.
Yes. But what
Yes.
they don't understand is that to be honest about your defense, you have to know the offense. A lot of
Yes.
times I'm creating something to be
Yeah.
defensive about, but we don't attack that way. This is how we attack. So first, know the disease so you can come up with the cure. Because if you come up with a cure, you don't even know what the what triggers the disease. So you have to be part of
Yes.
that in order to be good and honest about what it is that you're learning.
I think that's amazing. I think this sounds really awesome. I'm going to drop the link one more time. I have been dropping your links. I'm going to drop the Kids Heroes one more time because they got some other awesome books on there. I see Bayani is also in there. We
Yep.
had him on about 2 years ago for his book. There's some good stuff happening here. You got some movies making on there. You guys are doing some cool stuff. But yeah, this right here, it's launching tomorrow. It sounds really awesome. I'm really invested in the story. Big time. I can't wait. Very exciting.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I think well, I can't wait to do that comic reading with you and your following over
Yes.
here, so that when we do that,
Yes.
we'll get a better understanding and we'll have more to talk about rather than the overall of this. We'll get you
Yeah.
the digital copy so that you can put it up there and we can all look at it clearly and point at it. You see that right there in
What?
the corner and see that down there, and let's talk about it.
Yes, let's do that. Let's set that up sometime soon because let's see. We're getting ready to do con season. It usually starts around May-ish going that way. But yeah, we'll set this up big time. I want people to see more of this because what are you gonna be running a 30-day-ish campaign for this one?
I think that's all in Kid Heroes planning for that. I just show up
Yeah.
and do my thing.
Yes. Listen, Jeff does a good job on that. I was watching another show earlier. He was in the chat hustling more stuff. He's always out there doing stuff.
Yeah.
Good time. No, okay. So yeah, you got more Comic Cons coming up. Are you gonna be doing any other appearances or anything that you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Well, July I'm going to be doing my first in Cooperstown, New York, where they have the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. I am
Oh,
doing my
nice.
first Forged with Fire event where it's going to be a knife show. There's going to be a Forged in Fire show. There'll be the George Ballistic Dummy's going to be there. We're going to be doing some cutting competition. We're going to also have the Wall of Fame from all the attendees who ever been part of
Ooh.
Forged in Fire. They can put all their works of art in there. And then because it is also me releasing my tomahawk, we're going to have active tomahawk throwing, knife throwing
Ooh.
for interactive things. We're going to have arts and crafts, all in this open field that's 6 minutes away from Cooperstown. And then on the other side, because it's all about fire, we're going to have open fire pig roast, open fire calf roast, steaks, barbecue,
Ooh,
of course.
yummy.
It's going to be, of course, baseball. So we're going to pay homage to the hot dogs. And we're also going to be doing all fun family stuff. We're going to have fire dancers. We're going to have a big pit fire out there. So
Oh,
everything
those
that
are
has a
fun.
theme of fire with family fun.
I love
That's
that.
going to
That
be in
sounds
July
amazing.
18 in Cooperstown, New York.
Yes, you're getting people riled up for this. They're like this. This sounds good. It
And my
sounds
comic book will
also
be
sounds
featured out there
absolutely
too.
delicious.
And my comic
Perfect.
book
I
will be
did
out there
drop
too.
where this go. I right here. That's a link to your website. You could go probably check out all that information down there. You follow him all over the places. You said you have some stuff coming up on the TikTok and your YouTube. Go check that out. Check out the campaign link one more time. I did drop this a bunch of times. It is pinned to the
Yep.
top of chat.
And
It
just
is
follow
launching
me on my
tomorrow.
social
Yes.
media, Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
TikTok, YouTube. Everything that I do, I talk about it and I put links up there to all the activities that I'm doing. I hope you enjoy
Sweet.
my silly videos too, as well as my martial art ones.
Silly videos are the best. Those are the
Oh,
best. Those are what
I am just an entertainer. I
yes.
am so glad my brother's so much into it and we'll be forever young when we continue to make silly videos.
I love that. That what keeps you young at heart, and you got to do that kind of stuff. Yes. Oh, thank you very much. Some person, yes, dropping more of your Instagram links there. I will tag your your YouTube after this too, down below. Just put more of your social links down
Thank
that way,
you.
so people can go find you all over the place. But thank you so much for coming in here. We will set that up.
My
We'll do
pleasure.
the
Thank you,
reading
Katie.
day. Yeah. Well, listen, we didn't even get a chance to talk about K-pop. We'll do that next time.
Yeah. I want to find out what the latest out there. I'm really into Luke
Yes.
Chang right now. I don't know if you heard his music, so that's one of the things I'm
Ooh.
throwing out there, the ballads.
Okay. All
All right,
right. Yeah.
folks.
Oh, if you like ballads, I've got ballads for you. Let me tell you.
Oh,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
thanks
yeah.
again,
We can talk
folks.
about that another time.
Till
But
next
we're gonna
time.
get out of here. Yeah. See you guys later. Thank you. Let's see. We're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna just wave, dance, something. But